It starts with let the good times roll.
Hello, this is Everything is Emo. Let's kick it off with Freaks by Surf Curse. This is the Travis Barker remix. All right, we kicked it off with Freaks by Surf Curse, the Travis Barker remix. Speaking of Travis Barker and remixes and things of that sort, today's theme is collaborations. I just want to explore all the ways in which bands in this scene and other scenes have combined to create magic together. And we all know Travis Barker's been hard at work for many, many years, doing all sorts of things. He's got his hand in all sorts of people's careers, sort of just helping uplift bands and young artists and introduce them to this new generation of emo kids, punk kids, whatever you have it. So yeah, that's why we're kicking it off with this. And we've got a lot of really cool collabs to come. I'm really, really excited about this episode. So the song we're gonna play next is three people who I admire greatly and I'm very fond of personally. I'm happy to say that they are just as cool in real life as they are in the music that they make. And I feel like this group is a really great representation of how tightly knit the scene is. If you've been in this scene for a while, if you know anything at all about this music, it is all about community and it's all about banding together for whatever cause, whatever thing that you are passionate about. It was really tough to decide which song from this group or from each of these ladies that I wanted to play because they've all done incredible collaborations respective to their own discographies and their own projects. But in the real heavy spirit of collaboration, I decided to choose a project that all three of them did together. This is Julien Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus, also known as Boy Genius.
We had a great day, even though we forgot to eat, and you had a bad dream, and we got no sleep, 'cause we until I met you. Now you make me cool, but sometimes I still do something embarrassing. I never said I'd be alright. Just thought I could hold myself together. But I couldn't breathe, I went outside. Don't know I thought it'd be any better. But I'm fine now, it doesn't matter. I didn't wanna be this guy. I cried at your show with the teenagers. Tell your friend I'll be alright. In the morning it won't matter. I wanna be emaciated. I wanna hear one song without thinking of you. I wish I was on a spaceship, just me and my dog in an impossible view. I dream about it, and I wake up
I love these women so much. I'm so thankful to know them, and I actually bumped into Julian at one of our friends' shows in Nashville. Her name's Becca Mankari. She's a fabulous artist that you should look up. And while I was watching Becca, I saw Julian. She came up to me, we talked. She was like, oh, Lucy's here. Lucy came up, and Lucy was like, Phoebe's coming in tonight. And I was like, I'm making a solo album. Do you guys want to sing on it? Because I really need some great voices. I really need good backup voices for this one particular song. And literally 2 days later, they showed up, all three of them at the studio. And without any practice or without having heard the song beforehand, they just came in and they nailed it. I'm really excited about the On Shuffle album for this episode. We're gonna get into Fugazi Repeater. And the reason I've chosen them, you might be like, oh, that's not a collab. What do you mean? This is the ultimate collab, you guys. This band came from multiple bands. They are, one of the reasons this genre exists in the first place. Fugazi is comprised of members of Rites of Spring, Minor Threat, and on the earlier recordings, that's what we're gonna play today, Dag Nasty. So these are three highly influential bands from the hardcore scene, the post-hardcore scene, and what eventually came to be known as emo. But I love this record so much, and I know we're doing a lot of history lately, but that's what it's all about. So let's get into Fugazi. Let's put this record on shuffle. Okay, we got Reprovisional. The song's great. I hope you love it. Guy Picciotto writes some of my favorite lyrics, so make sure to pay attention. There's a lot of great one-liners and hard perseverance.
Somewhere in these private minds, the last one comes just in time to clear out the chambers, show up the lips. That's the price to pay for hoping every slip's not a slide. In other words, not to get it wrong. Police you woke, best out to run. Scared of the weight of watchful eyes. Locked to sleep under clear, expensive skies. chambers, sew up the lips, the press to pay, open every slip, slide a slide.
Cover up, cover up, cover up that you're ruthless. Nobody's ever gonna notice. And I am catching on, and I am seeing red. How about I prove I'm right and raise it overhead? I never promised you anything I couldn't do. We try to bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. You never promised me you would see it differently. Bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. Bury it, bury it, bury it, rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Reaching for my resistance. Nobody sees it at a distance. And I am catching up, and I am seeing red. How about I throw my weight and raise it overhead? I never promised you anything I couldn't do. We try to bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. You never promised me you would see it differently. Bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. Bury it, bury it, bury it, rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. I never promised you anything I couldn't do. We try to bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. You never promised me you would see it differently. Bury and rise above, bury and rise above you. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above. Bury it, bury it, bury it, and rise above.
That one was really personal to me. I love Churches. I've loved them since the first album. And I'm so thankful to know Lauren and to have, connected with her throughout the years because of what we do. Music does that. Isn't that an amazing thing? That we often will meet people or create deep bonds with people just because of songs that we like or bands that we are just like devoted to. But I also think that Lauren is one of the smartest women that I've ever heard speak on any political topic. And she's given me a lot of courage in the way that I speak about things that really matter to me in the public. We were able to play a show together in Nashville. She asked me to come up and sing Bury It off what at the time was their new album. And it was at a Nashville show downtown. I loved the song, so I was very much prepared. And then it was so fun and it went so well that we decided to record it. And they re-released their album as a deluxe album, and this collaboration was on it. Once the song came out and, it got some fair radio play and fans of Churches and Paramore were really into it, which was super cool. They ended up playing Bonnaroo, right outside of Nashville, and we were making our album After Laughter at the time, so I was home and they invited me to come sing the song with them at Bonnaroo. I had never been to Bonnaroo. It was, just down the street from where we grew up, but we were always on tour, and I really didn't go to a ton of festivals when we were younger. So my first Bonnaroo was literally stepping on stage with churches to sing Bury It. And I remember spraying my hair with this like green spray paint basically and putting it in these mohawk buns. And I look like Reptar from the Rugrats. Do you guys remember the Rugrats? But yeah, that was really fun. And Bonnaroo now is like, you know, that's one of my favorite festivals in the world to play. Paramore got to play there a couple years after that, and it's rad. But I owe my first wonderful Bonnaroo experience to churches. I want to play a song that is made up of two bands that I really like a lot and that we were lucky enough to play a lot of shows with in the early days, especially The Starting Line. But this is a song from the early November that Kenny from The Starting Line is featured on. It's so nostalgic, and it paints a perfect picture of, you know, the vibe of what it felt like to go to these kinds of shows in the early mid 2000s. Both these bands are so cool, so nice. In fact, we had a tour with the early November in 2006, I believe. We played at this historic club in Washington, D.C. called the 930 Club. I got really sick after the show. I just started coughing, and I didn't stop coughing for like 2 days straight. We had to cancel the rest of the shows. In those 2 days that I couldn't stop coughing, we stayed in this hotel in DC, and that's where the opening riff to Misery Business was written. Everything happens for a reason, you guys. This is the early November featuring Kenny from The Starting Line, Fluxy. If you have not already, you can hit subscribe on this series so you'll know when the next episode of Everything is Emo is available.
I suffer in silence, I still don't know why. I guess I'm built for another. A flower I'm growing, I wilted today. I chose it to leave you tonight. You don't want it, do you?
first heard of Pink Pantheress because my manager sent me some sort of article or an interview where she talks about seeing Paramore, and that was like an aha moment for her. I can do this. I want to do this. I want to make music for a living as my career. And I was really, really flattered and sort of humbled to hear that, because that's the sort of thing that when you are young and you're starting a band, you just don't think of people eventually being that same age and kind of having the same feelings that you've had, and it's because of your music. So I had to play Pink Pantheress on this show. I knew I was going to do it from, the moment I knew I was going to do this show. And then, as we're rolling out these episodes, I get a request for approval of a sample of one of our first songs off of our debut album, All We Know Is Falling. It's a song called Never Let This Go that she wanted to sample in this new song that she was collaborating with Willow Smith. So there's not a better new song for me to play in this episode than this. I think it's so cool. It feels like a full circle moment in a lot of ways for me. So Pink Pantheress, thank you. All right, let's shuffle Fugazi Repeater. Ow, great. All right, we have the title track. It's Repeater. Song rules. As always, lyrics are incredible. Hope you like it. First heard about Fugazi really young. I was interested in who the bands I knew about at the time were listening to, who influenced them, and I guess I liked history more than I thought I did as a high schooler. But Fugazi at the time, listening to them, there were a couple songs that I liked, like Waiting Room, which I think most people, if they've heard of Fugazi, they know Waiting Room. Those kind of songs I loved, and I could clearly see the link between a band like Fugazi and, my favorite band in the world, Me Without You. So it made all the sense in the world to me, but it really wasn't until years later we were on the road. I was probably 19 or 20 when I really got into Fugazi and I really started reading into all the lyrics. And I think of this album right now as it's a great soundtrack for me to a lot of political discourse that's happening right now and things that are going on in the world. And it just gives me a place to put a lot of that energy and anxiety. So I encourage you to get into Fugazi and Rites of Spring. If you are a fan of this kind of music, I think that, you know, you'll find these albums really cathartic. I mean, mic drop. That's one of the coolest collabs in years. Turnstile, I feel like you guys know this band. What can I say? Like, they're ridiculous. And I do think that they transcend a single genre. I think they're gonna be around a long time. I think, you know, in 20 years, we're gonna have bands that only exist because Turnstile existed. And I love them for that. But the fact that they tapped Dev Hynes for this song, for 2 songs, by the way, on their new album, is such a flex. What a badass thing. I listened to so much Blood Orange while we were making After Laughter, but you should know, Blood Orange isn't the only thing that Dev Hynes is known for. He was in Lightspeed Champion. He's Test Icicles. Like, come on. This guy is highly influential, and I would be lucky to be in the same room with him, much less ever work with him. But all you gotta do is Wikipedia and check out his credits because it's nuts. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, I've had an email from Justin in Chicago. He said, "Dear Haley, I have a suggestion. Have you ever heard of this band called Wolf Alice? They're really big in the UK. Their sound is fantastic. I actually got to see them live in Chicago not too long ago." Justin, thanks for your recommendation. I have heard of this band. Wolf Alice are incredible, and here they are now with How Can I Make It Okay?
A moment to change it all. Had life before been so slow. Urgency takes all, but to live in fear isn't to live at all. So how can I
Paramore and Wolf Alice have played similar festivals. We've kind of been in and around the same scenes, but I've still yet to meet this band, and I'm still waiting for the day that I get to watch them side stage or from. I really, honestly, I want to be out in the crowd. I want to feel what everyone feels when they go to a Wolf Alice show. I cannot imagine Ellie's voice live because it is insane on the album, and you just can't fake that. Oh man, I love it. Ellie, I want to sing with you so bad. We could not do an episode about collaborations without this song. We've already talked about how there are times in which I see Gerard Way, but I'm also hearing and sensing Freddie Mercury. So powerful. So this is that. Gerard and Bert, My Kim, The Used, covering Under Pressure. Come on.
Don't work. Keep coming up with love, but it's so slashed and torn.
I heard this song. I don't know where we were, but we were in England somewhere. The thing that I remember thinking is that if any two other people had done this, I would have felt like it was complete blasphemy. But something about Gerard's presence, Bert's presence, and the fact that these two giants, these titans of this scene that was really thriving, this was like the height of so much for both of them. For them to come together and do this song was just really cool. And that's the thing that I remember most, is that it struck me that it made sense and I wasn't bummed. All right, let's shuffle Repeater by Fugazi one last time. Possibly one of my favorites on this record. We've had two songs with Guy singing. Now you get one with Ian. This is Merchandise. The song ends with the line, "You are not what you own." And I remember the first thing that I ever learned about Fugazi as a teenager was that they did not make merch. and I was so upset about it, but I understood it and I respected it. I saw this kid at South by Southwest in 2005, and he had a shirt, and in Sharpie written on it, it said, "This is not a Fugazi t-shirt."
When we have nothing left to give, there'll be no reason for us to live. When we have nothing left to lose, you will have nothing left to use. We ain't nothing. You have no control. We ain't nothing. You have no control. Merchandise that keeps us in line. And common sense and it's by design. What could a businessman ever want more than to have us sunking in his store? We ain't nothing. You have no control. We ain't nothing. You have no control. You are not what you are. 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 We ain't nothing. You have no control. We ain't nothing. You have no control. We ain't nothing. Nothing. You have no control. We ain't nothing. Nothing. You have no control.
I think about that kid at South by Southwest all the time because from that point on, I drew all over my t-shirts. Anytime there was a band that I wanted their merch, but I didn't have access to it or couldn't afford it at the time, I just made it myself. So remember that, kids. You don't need money to rep your favorite band. You just need a Sharpie and an old t-shirt. In fact, I even would cut up pillowcases that I had. I had many pillows that just had a square cut out of the pillowcase, and the stuffing was just coming out on the inside, because I would use that as a back patch on the back of my hoodie. I still have a hoodie actually here with me now where I did that, and I wrote "Me Without You" lyrics, and I safety pinned it, and I sewed it up with red and black thread. DIY merch was crucial. Okay, it's time for AOB. Today, we have a message from Frederica. She's 24 years old. She's from Italy. She said, "I'm not sure if they're considered emo, but my band recommendation would be Pom Pom Squad with their latest album, Death of a Cheerleader. I truly think it's one of the best releases of 2021. I can't wait to hear the next episode of Everything is Emo." Frederica, thank you for this recommendation. And because today is all about collaborations, we've got a song from Pom Pom Squad that features Matthew of Not a Surf. This song is called Popular.
There are important rules for breaking up. Don't cut off breaking up when you know you want to. Prolonging the situation only makes it worse. Tell him honestly, simply, kindly, but firmly. Don't make a big production. Don't make up an elaborate story. This will help you avoid a big tear-jerking scene. If you want to date other people, say so. Be prepared for the boy to feel hurt and rejected. Even if you've gone together for only a short time and haven't been too serious, there's still a feeling of rejection
rejection when someone says she prefers the company of others to your exclusive company. But if you're honest and direct and avoid making a flowery emotional speech when you break the news, the boy will respect you for your frankness. And honestly, he'll appreciate the kind of straightforward manner in which you told him your decision. Unless he's a real trooper, a crybaby, you'll be class. I'm popular. I'm the quarterback. I'm popular. My mom says I'm a catch. I'm popular. I'm never last picked. I got a cheerleader chick. Being attractive is the most important thing there is. If you want to catch the biggest fish in your pond, you have to be as attractive as possible. Make sure to keep your hair spotless and clean. Wash it at least every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. And if you see Johnny Football Hero in the hall, tell him he played a great game. Tell him you liked his article. I'm a star. I'm popular. I've got my own car. I'm popular. I'll never get caught. I'm popular. I make football bets. I'm the teacher's pet. I propose we support a 1-month limit on going steady. I think it would keep people more able to deal with weird situations and get to know more people. If you're ready to go out with Johnny, now's the time to tell him about your 1-month limit. He won't mind. He'll appreciate your fresh look on dating. And once you've dated someone else, you can date him again. I'm sure he'll like it. Everyone will appreciate it. You're so novel. What a good idea. You can keep your time to yourself. You don't need date insurance. You can go out with whoever you want to. Every boy in the whole world can be yours. If you'll just listen to my plan, the teenage guide to popularity. I'm popular. I'm a quarterback. I'm popular. My mom says I'm a catch. I'm popular. I'll never last picked. I'm a cheerleader chick. I'm the party star. I'm popular. I've got my own car. I'm popular. I'll never get caught. I'm popular. I'm a teacher's pet. I make football bets.
All right, that was for Frederica. The song is a cover of the Nada Surf song Popular. So big ups to Matthew of Nada Surf for featuring on this song with Pom Pom Squad. Super cool recommendation. Thank you. If you want to share what new bands you're loving right now, please send me a message or a voice note on WhatsApp. The number is 07340 100 100. Don't forget to start your message with the word emo and head to bbc.co.uk/emo for all the terms and conditions. This has been a super fun episode. It's so cool to me to have an excuse to talk about the ways that this scene supports each other and itself. I do remember times growing up in the scene that I felt a little lonely, and I think it's just because I was a young girl and that was different, you know, for our very specific sect of the scene that we were in. But seeing how it's grown and blossomed, and it's honestly picked up a lot from where we left off in the 90s, it just makes me really proud. So it was really fun to do this episode and to talk about the ways that these artists have banded together to create things that are really special and create moments that we can all remember and reflect back on, or things we have great memories around. I wanted to end this episode with a song off of an album that came out when I was around 15 years old, and it involved a member of another band that came in to sing, and it just, I don't know, something about the alchemy of this particular album just got me where I was at the time in my life, and it was such an inspirational album and really uplifting album. This is Further Seems Forever with sense-filled singer John Bunch. He joined the band for a short time. I never got to meet John Bunch. He passed away in 2016. And so for that and a lot of other reasons, this song is really special to me. This is Light Up Ahead. We'll see you guys at the next episode.